Hey, visionaries! You are now tuned in to the Starts with a Vision podcast, where everything you do in life starts with a vision. If your vision is clear or foggy, you are in the right place. It's time to go take what's yours, because there's a vision only you can see, and a dream only you can dream. And now, your host, Mr. Starts with a Vision.
What up, y'all? It's Isaiah Fowler, aka Mr. SWAV. Mr. Starts with the Vision. And today, we have a good story, but we also have a good resource for you today that I really want you guys to listen to in depth, because this can definitely help you out with your transition as an entrepreneur, if you're coming from the corporate world, and so much more. So today's guest, we have Simeka Steele, and what she does is she transitioned from corporate America to actually a career coach, and she helps people get and focus on their career the right way. She doesn't just help you find a job. She helps you with your career, not just a job, not just, she's going to help you with your resume to help you get a job. No, we talking career, long term. So she is so amazing, and her story is also amazing too, but she's definitely going to give you some nuggets and some wisdom and some knowledge. So listen to this whole episode and enjoy it. What's going on, everybody? You already know who it is. It's Mr. SWAV in the house, and we have somebody else in the house as well, and she is a certified, not just any, but a certified career coach, and she about to put you on game about a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about today, but you already know it has to be about entrepreneurship. So with that being said, Simeka Steele, how are you doing today?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
All is well. We're trucking, we're growing, and we're continuing to go, and we're not stopping. We're staying persistent on these dreams. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So really quick, Simeka, you are a career coach. I think it's pretty interesting. I know when we met and we were talking, I was like, dang, I like what you're doing. And I think it's just interesting, the niche that you've carved out for yourself, especially with the experience that you have had, and what you've done, So just let everybody know exactly who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I am, as Mr. SWAV has said, a certified career coach. And I have started a business called Career Management 360 LLC. I started this business approximately a year and several months ago now. Seems like time is flying on that. But I started the business after coming out of about a 15, 20-year corporate ride in HR.
Okay.
So I've spent a lot of time behind the scenes interviewing people and partnering along with some of my recruiter friends and HR friends in terms of interviewing people and doing the behind the scenes work in terms of that whole interviewing and hiring process, the whole HR process, so to speak. So I know what those people are looking for.
Okay. So were you specifically in charge of hiring, or were you in charge of hiring and firing? You say HR, I know there's like two different sides. So what was your focus?
Oh, wow. Well, throughout my career, I've been in HR. So when I first started in HR, I started out as an HR assistant. And from there, it grew. So I've been an HR assistant, I've been an HR analyst, and I've also been a hiring manager before. Not specifically a recruiter, but a hiring manager. So once I come out of HR and went over into another part of the company, I still had hiring capabilities because I had staff that reported to me. So in that, I partnered with HR for hiring individuals for the positions that I needed staffed.
Okay. Yeah. So you've seen a myriad of different sides of not only corporate, but the hiring, firing, interview process, and things as such. So, how did this journey, this entrepreneurial journey, start?
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah, you see how I did that.
So, okay, let me just tell you my story. My story began actually in probably about 2007, to be honest. That is the first time that I actually had given any type of career coaching advice. And I gave it to a young lady who was a coworker at the time who was getting ready to interview for internal position. And I caught her in the hallway. I asked her, has she had her interview yet? And she said no, but I noticed that she was shaking. So I pulled her to the side. I pulled her in my office. And I just really gave her some advice in terms of going in and interviewing and projecting herself with confidence and just giving them what it is that they really wanted to know, which is, can you do the job and are you the right fit? And we already knew that because she was already working for the company. So it started from there. And after that, I started finding that many resumes ended up in my lap. Not because I was broadcasting that I do this or anything of that nature, but they just would always find their way to me. So people would begin to ask me, would I ever do this for a living, or how much would I charge people to do it? And I really didn't take it seriously at that time. I said, absolutely not. This is something that just comes effortless to me. This is not something that I would ever charge anybody for doing. This is not something that is just that serious to me. I have some other aspirations. I was thinking that I was going to go in a different direction. But lo and behold, fast forward to 2015, and I was helping a friend's mother who had been displaced for about 2 years. She was an HR executive, and I was coaching her because she was feeling as though she wasn't being hired due to age discrimination. But with her being an executive, I told her that couldn't possibly be the case, because if anywhere where they want you to be more experienced or more seasoned, it's at that level. So I began to look at her documents and just talk to her and gave her some advice on what I believe that she should probably do in terms of revising the documents and how she should present herself. And afterwards, she ended up landing a consultant position that was international. So she got to travel, and it was for about 2 years. So at that point, a seed was planted that said, hey, you need to take this more seriously. And so I said, okay, I will try to start the business. I'm going to try to start off slow. Mind you, I was still working in corporate, in HR. At the time, I was a HR project manager. So I said, well, I'll just try to get the business up and going and just see how it goes. Well, fast forward a little bit further at the beginning of 2016, I was unhappy with where things were going in the position that I was in, and with all the changes and restructuring that was going on within the organization that I was with. And, I just said, hey, I'm at a fork in the road. I don't know if my next move is really to go to another company or if it's really to do my own thing. The spirit is telling me is do my own thing. But I said, I don't really want to step out there solely in that direction and I be wrong. Right. And I fail. So I just prayed about it and just said, Lord, whatever way you tell me to move, I'll move. And in beginning of February, all things that I prayed about, things that were happening at the job and all sorts of stuff was just confirmed to me. Not only was that confirmed to me, when I needed to move was also confirmed to me. And it was confirmed to me being at the end of February, to be out of corporate by the end of February, at the latest the middle of March. And things began to happen that actually ended up pushing me out by the end of February. Now, I left on my own, but things just happened that quickly. And I really felt a little bit nervous about it because I didn't feel that I had it fully baked out in order to just step out there like that. But lo and behold, I did it. I established the business March 4th of 2016. And right after I left my corporate position that Monday, I had my first client.
Right then and there. A couple days after.
Right then and there.
Did that give you a little bit of did it give you a bit of like peace of mind? Like, okay, like I can do this.
Absolutely. I really had a newfound faith. I mean, really stepping out there too, it was very liberating. It's funny because you get a little anxiety because it's exciting, but it's scary at the same time. But you're ready to hit the ground running and see what's coming tomorrow. So, I mean, it's been a great journey, great ride thus far, and it's just continuing to go up from here or up from there.
100%. So let's talk about the fear a little bit and more like the transitional part of everything. Talk about, you said you were nervous and stuff like that, but what did the nervousness feel like? What were you nervous about? Was it more leaning towards fear than it was nervousness? Because those are two different things. You know what I mean? Because if there is anybody out there listening who is on the fence, we need to get them off of the fence.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I would say that much of my angst was around the fact that I had not fully structured everything out. And I'm a person who really kind of likes to have things in order. So before I jump out of the window, so to speak, I want to make sure that I have a parachute or that there is one of those, what are those little things that they put on the ground? It's like an inflatable type of thing.
Yeah, I know
that you land
about.
on.
Right.
Yeah, I want to make sure that there's something to catch me if I fall. So my nervousness was about that and about the fact that I had just depleted my savings account and was really working on trying to build that back up. So my finances weren't all together the way that I would have thought fit if I was going to step out there on my own and completely that way. And then just transitioning from corporate. You go from the mindset of working in a place that has provided you stability for the last 15 to 20 years, and you're doing very well in that, and you're growing in that, to now doing this solely for yourself. Every dollar that you get is driven by what you do and how you move. Right. That was a little scary for me because with corporate life, you really don't have to worry about that. Your biggest worry is if there's a layoff or anything like that occurs where you're asked to leave.
Right. And I think that's deep because, like you say, I mean, at the end of the day, you eat what you kill. So, like, you have to become a killer, right?
Yes.
And if you don't have that mentality, then it's like, you're mad, sad, frustrated, pissed off. There is no limit to what you're gonna feel. But the fact that you continue to move is the most important thing that you ever could have done, right? So after you get your first client, you leave, you quit, or you transition. Let's not say quit per se. But what happens, in the months thereafter, the weeks thereafter, and what does that journey look like after you leave and you get one client? Is it dry? Do you have a few more clients? Like, what's it look like?
Oh no, the clients begin to pour in.
Dang.
surprisingly. The little network that I had is awesome. It was only maybe about, I would say I had a good tight-knit network of about 4 to 5 people. But those 4 to 5 people bought me my entire client roster for 2016.
Dang.
So, yes, it was amazing. I did no marketing at all because I was also afraid of growing too big too fast and not being scalable since my business was just me at the time.
Right.
So I did no marketing. Every customer that I got or every client that I serviced in 2016 was word of mouth. And then by the end of 2016, I also began to secure corporate presentations and workshops, and also had an opportunity to present at Georgia Southern University.
Nice.
As well. And all of that came through my network.
Dang. So you don't need no marketing, huh?
No. Well, we're trying to grow on a grander scale. Right. Marketing is always good. I'm not foolish enough to say that I don't need marketing.
I'm just messing with you because I didn't even know you got all those engagements and opportunities all from your network, which is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing.
It was a surprise to me. Because I certainly wasn't expecting it.
So.
I mean, and there was times that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It was times that what?
There was times that it was hard. Absolutely. But not hard in terms of, I think I'm getting ready to be homeless, but hard in terms of just mentally and psychologically. When you look back, you go, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Right.
What am I doing?
Some days for me, it's weird because maybe I'll wake up and I won't feel like it's real life. Does that
yeah.
I don't know how to really explain it, but some days, even to this day, I wake up and I'd be like, I feel like I'm living in a movie.
Absolutely. I actually just experienced that the other day. I woke up and I just thought about the fact that at this point in time, so it was maybe about 10 a.m., but at 10 a.m., almost everybody is somewhere working out in somebody's office or organization.
Right.
And I'm here.
100%. You can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on that. Exactly. It's kind of like, is this really my real life? And what you have been there for 15 years, it's that's what you were so used to. So, almost 2 years out, I know that it's still kind of some days you're you may just want to sit around the house because you're well, I can sit around just because I can do it. That's what I'm so thankful for. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's super crazy. So as a career coach, what is your model and your services look like?
Okay. So, basically the firm is a career development firm. So, we have an array of career services for almost every kind of professional, regardless to where they are in their career journey. And our mission and vision is to really cause a paradigm shift in the mindset of a career professional. So most of the time when people come to me, their short-term goal or immediate need is just what I would call kind of basic job seeking. So they want to find a job. Mm-hmm. They're not really concerned with their career, mm-hmm. which is a little bit more long-term and planned out a little bit more long-term.
Talk about that a little bit.
basically, when people come, they always say to me, okay, well, listen, I need to get my resume together because I need to find another job. I hate it here. I don't want to be here, or I'm just looking for something different. I'm just burned out. I'm tapped out. So I just need to find another job. So can you do something with my resume to the point where I can put it in anybody's hands and somebody, I'm receiving calls. And although that is one of the goals and one of the focuses of a lot of my clients, that really shouldn't be the only focus. So I'm more concerned with, okay, so once you get this job, where do you go from here? And are you looking for just any type of job? Where is that leading you in terms of your career path? If you have a goal to retire by the age of, let's say, 50, and you want to do that by having a travel company or a excursion company over in an exotic island, but you're taking a job as, I don't really want to put out any type of position, but you're taking a position that is counterintuitive to that.
It's not complimenting.
Where is that really leading you?
Right.
So what I would like to do, and what my company's mission is to do, is to move them from just basic job seeking to making strategic career choices that is going to lead them to where they ultimately want to go throughout their career journey.
Okay.
Whether that's up the corporate ladder or over into a different sector of business, or what may have you.
And that's even if they want to one day start their own business. Like you're saying, get the skills from whatever company and then start your own business from those skills that you learned from the company.
Absolutely. Every move that you make in terms of your career should have some applicability and some alignment to where you ultimately want to land.
100%. And so I remember earlier you said that you were trying to go in a different direction, right? You consider yourself as a career coach. What was that direction that you were envisioning or you thought you were going to be?
Oh, well, when I received, this is something that I did not disclose in the beginning of the interview. I also have my master's for IO psychology, which is industrial and organizational psychology. So what I ultimately thought that I was going to do is work my way up the corporate ladder in terms of HR and then move over into consulting, becoming an HR consultant. And then I figured after that, once I got all of the skills that I needed and the experience up under my belt, that I would eventually start a HR consulting firm or management consulting firm. So I had no intention on spending the rest of my career being an entrepreneur.
Right.
That had not crossed my mind at all.
Right. Dang, that's interesting. And from there, what do you think is like the biggest thing that you've learned? Let's just say the past year and a half. The biggest thing you've learned as an entrepreneur, as a business owner.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's so many things. It's hard to choose just one.
It always is.
I would say if I had to go with something, or if there was something that was a little bit more prominent that stood out to me, or that stands out to me, it would be to get up every day and continue moving. Do something. There'll be days that you can't do, you absolutely can't do everything. But do something. There'll be days that you don't want to do anything, but do something. Get up and do something and be consistent in doing something. Because when you enter into this type of thing, like you said before, your next meal relies on you.
Right.
And if you don't work, you don't eat.
Right.
So you absolutely have to stay consistent in doing something. Always try to just improve not only yourself, but your business. Always have a mind of growth. Even if you don't see where it's going to come from or how it's possible, keep that mindset. That is very important.
Yeah, for reals. Because the growth and the what you just said was mouthful in terms of do something always, every day. It is days where I don't want to do nothing. I want to go to sleep. Seriously. But I understand my position. I can't do that. Like, I cannot afford not one day to sit around and just do nothing. Like, it just
Yes, you don't have the luxury anymore of doing that.
Until I have...
You're not being backed up by $1 billion company.
Exactly. I'm not on their salary, none of that stuff. I don't have sick days. I got to take care of my health because if I'm sick one day, I can't grow how I want to. Until I have $20 million in the bank in a savings account, then I don't feel safe. And I may be over exaggerating a little bit, but still, you get my point. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's deep and that's very serious. So everybody listening, man, like, yo, you have to go. Like, no, even when you have a job and you're building your side hustle, you have to go. You have to continue. Like, that's just it. Yeah. And that's all. That's it. And that's all. But so from the career coaching perspective and the interviewing process and the resumes, you do resumes and you help people with interview skills. So my question is, you had said that your network got you your clients, your first client, and on and on. Do you have any clients or provide any services on a monthly basis, or is it just resumes and interview skills and stuff like that? Like, talk about those.
Okay, so we have services and packages that for the base are resume writing, LinkedIn profile branding, interview skills, personal branding, salary negotiations, and then we have full-on comprehensive career coaching, which involves it's a whole plethora of things. Probably anything that you could think of career-wise. However, monthly services is something that we are beginning to kind of tap into a little bit more, and that's something that I'm working on right now. Is coming out with some workshops that I can offer to individuals that may not need the one-on-one service, because everything that I just mentioned is really done through one-on-one coaching with a client. So maybe someone doesn't want the one-on-one coaching because they may feel that they're savvy enough to take whatever it is that you give them and apply it. So I'm getting ready to, or we're in the process of developing some workshops that can be delivered via online through virtual meeting rooms in order for people to really take this knowledge that we have as career coaches and be able to apply it to their lives.
Gotcha. And that makes perfect sense. And I think that just a monthly portion is going to be very helpful to a lot of people, because like you said, they may not need the one-on-one, but if they're able to, be in some type of class or whatever it is, on a month-to-month basis, that'll definitely be a good service to them as well. So what would you say is, we talked about, some of the biggest things you learned, but why do you love entrepreneurship? Why do you continue to do what you do on a day-to-day basis now?
Oh, it's thrilling. It's kind of like, it's a roller coaster ride, which I'm a roller coaster enthusiast, so I'm a little bit of a thrill seeker. But it's thrilling to be able to shape and cultivate your own way and your own path and your own destiny.
Right.
There is no feeling like that.
Absolutely.
You can either go to work and work on somebody else's agenda to complete the things it is that they have aligned for themselves, or you can work for yourself and accomplish that for yourself.
Right. Because the same thing that you are looking to accomplish under somebody else's plan, you can do it through your own vision as well.
Absolutely. And most of the time we have what we need. We just don't think that we have what we need.
It's already inside of us.
Absolutely.
It's anything that we ever need is inside of us because we have the ideas. We have the contacts to call to get us closer to another contact and on and on and on. But it's all inside of our mind. Yes.
And creativity.
Yeah.
In terms, which is equivalent to corporate talk, innovation. It's from within, but that's the money. That's the value. That's the driver.
110%. Well, where can people find out more about you? About, maybe somebody listening to this podcast right now who has a corporate job and they listen to this, but they're looking to transition or whatever. How can they contact you and find you?
Absolutely. They can contact me through either my website, which is www.careermgmt360.com. You can also go and add me on LinkedIn. I accept any connection that comes to me. Anybody that comes and tries to connect with me on LinkedIn, I will accept you. Okay. And that's just simply my name. So Simeka Steele, and that's Simeka. Last name is Steele. I'm also on Instagram. So if you want to just follow on Instagram, I do I do more quotes and inspirational things on through Instagram now, but there'll be other content that will come out from Instagram as well in the future. And that is my Instagram is at CM360_LLC.
CM360_LLC?
Yes.
Okay.
And then my Facebook is simply the name of the business, which is Career Management 360 LLC.
Got you. Well, just wrote it down, and that's going to be in the show notes as well. So if you didn't catch that, go to the website or rewind what she just said, and contact her. If you know somebody who's looking for a pivot in their career, then definitely send them to this podcast, listen to it, and help them get on the right path, because Simeka definitely will get you on the right path and where you need to be and where you need to go and where you want to go and where you want to be. So I thank you so much for your time, Simeka. And with that being said, guys, that's going to be today's show, and we're going to talk to you guys on the next show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Starts with a Vision podcast. Come get your vision clear at www.startswithavision.com. See you there.